Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome everyone to today's Wednesday, June 22nd, special board meeting of the Buffalo Board of Education. The purpose of the meeting tonight is to review and vote on the tentative agreement between the Buffalo City School District and the PECTA Union. I see some representatives from PECTA in the audience. Hello, representatives. Good to see the media in the audience also. It's been a long time. I see that it's nice to be in person. Some of my fellow board members forgot where they were sitting, but that's okay. It'll come back. All right. Oh, and Deputy Mayor Brown, I see you in the back there also. Hello, Deputy Mayor. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Williams for some comments just about the contract and where we're at with things. So Dr. Williams, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, President Petrucci. This will be what I'm hoping will be a really good day in order to move our agenda forward and to move us into the educational excellence that we need to move into. We have to make sure that all of our staff have fair and competitive benefits and wages, and we certainly respect all of the work that our PECTA group of employees does. So I think today will be a good day. It's what I'm hoping will be a really good day. And I'll turn things over to Mr. Kuzma, our General Counsel.
Thank you, Dr. Williams and board members. And I want to thank you all. I know this is a special meeting. Last week at school, everybody was very busy, so we're taking the time out this evening, to spend. And I will be brief, but I did just want to say a few words about this contract. PECTA, the Professional Clerical Technical Employees Association, is our third largest bargaining unit. Give or take 400, presently 433 active employees. It's budgeted for close to 500, and it was growing as we hire more and more security officers and frontline workers. And so it's a really diverse group. It's your building typists, your clerks, your architects, your occupational therapists, your physical therapists, all of the folks in your finance staff, many of the folks in the HR department. On and on and on. And so, these are very critical, they're very critical staff for us, and I am very pleased today to present this fair agreement and competitive agreement to you for your consideration. Before I get into it, I want to recognize PECTA president, longtime president, 10 years now almost? 7? Okay, well, round it up. But Aaron Armstrong is the PECTA Union president, and he's joined by his vice president, Edward Lamoon. I really want to commend Aaron and Ed and their team for always trying to solve and collaborate and address issues before they become either litigation matters or grievances. And PECTA is a group that's led the charge in many different areas in terms of making concessions over the years. They were one of the first groups to contribute towards their health insurance, where they already now contribute for new employees 20% towards the premium of health insurance. They've already conceded for new employees, with some exceptions, to make us competitive with our city counterparts on the retiree health insurance benefit. They go on to Medicare Advantage at age 65. And they've done all this stuff through the past several contracts. And so when we got around to negotiating this time, I said to Aaron, I think it's going to be a little easier. He didn't really believe me at first, but I said, we've already really hit our district benchmarks on a lot of the cost-saving priorities that we've established. And so, this is the first time I think he can remember, and their lawyer, who also has represented them for a very long time, can remember that we're staying in contract. That means that there is no delay. The contract's expired and we're going years. We are staying in contract, which is the goal in this district and what we want to do for labor, to show them the respect that they deserve. A lot of these folks certainly were frontline workers during the course of the pandemic, whether that's our security officers who were there at the schools making sure that our food delivery systems were running. The food service department is run by Bridget O'Brien Wood. She is a PECTA member, an employee. Our plant and operations, Barry Kirker, who oversees the engineers, is also a Pecta employee. And we know Cheryl Kennedy, our director of transportation, also, a Pecta employee. So a lot of these folks were critical to maintaining the district's operations during the course of the pandemic, whether that be payroll, food service, and security, and everything of the like. So I wanted the board and the public to understand the importance of this group, and why it's important that we remain competitive, from a wages and salary perspective, that will take us into the future. And so we were able to reach an agreement which, has, it's a 4-year contract that's 15% of increases over the course of the term, 4%, followed by 3%. There's increases in longevity, and of course we did provide a one-time signing bonus to this group of $1,000, which is really a recognition of a lot of what these folks did during the course of the pandemic, and an extension of, our appreciation for, the work that they did during the course of the pandemic. There are several upgrades that are included here, most of which are in the finance department. And the reason for that is we did a study and we looked at comparable positions in the city of Buffalo who we compete with, for these type of jobs. And we were, in some below market, in those particular areas, which made it difficult, for our finance department to fill a number of positions that have been vacant for quite some time. And so those positions, at the district's request, were upgraded to make those salaries more competitive so that we can fill those positions with qualified candidates. One of the major issues that we discussed, of course, Pecta represents our security officers, who we know are our frontline workers, in an effort to keep our students and our staff safe. And we know in February, one of those officers was significantly injured via a gunshot wound at McKinney High School. And I think everybody understands that the district will be making some changes heading into the future as it relates to security at our buildings, and there will be more to come on that. And Pecta has come to the table understanding that this is a community issue, and we're going to be getting community folks involved, whether that's the peacemakers or fathers to help in ensuring safe passage to our schools for our students. And we didn't want to be in a position in Pecta. We had a robust discussion about the issue because, of course, union work is protected work, and they protect it, understandably. But they came to the table to work with us and on training, on making sure new uniforms are provided to our officers, ensuring that we can cooperate with each other and communicate on getting these community groups more involved in our schools without supplanting the work of the security officers. And I think it's the start of a conversation. We've agreed to form a committee to continue that conversation, and I think it's one that we recognize is going to have to continue into the future as we continue to make changes, at the building level as it pertains to safety and security. I did send the agreement out. I think it's in board docs for those that wanna review it, but in the context of the previous concessions that were made by this unit, and their willingness to collaborate and cooperate with us, this is a fair, competitive, and certainly affordable contract for us. And I strongly recommend that this board approve it this afternoon so that we can move forward and make these changes by July.
Why wouldn't
So with that, I'll take any questions that the board may have.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Kuzma? No questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Cotton.
So the one-time signing bonus, are we taking withholdings out of that?
There will be withholdings taken out of it.
Okay, just double checking from previous situations. Thank you.
Mr. Hurd.
Yeah, I also want to try signing bonuses, something like the resolution bill try to pass, giving our teachers, support staff, and administrators, $1,000 because of COVID. And I'm glad to say it because all the stresses of going through COVID and working through these trying times, that I believe that the added bonus is a great initiative by this district and moving forward. And also with the community groups, working together with those, like the Green Leadership Program. That's you want to do training, I believe, next week. I'd love to see that combination work together also to move forward.
Yeah, I think I'll give you credit for the impetus behind the signing bonus. I think it was in large part one of that helped bring that discussion to the table and was one of the reasons why it was included. As we indicated at the time we brought that resolution, it was a negotiable item, and then it's passed, so we negotiated.
Any other comments or questions from my somewhat soggy board? Ms. Cottman?
Yes, when can our employees expect their money, their bonus? And then just for the record, we've always had signing bonuses on our contracts. That's not unusual in this district.
It's not. What's unusual about it is that this is usually we have a lag where there's some back years where
Right.
are taking zeros. That's not the case this time, which makes it a little bit different. But of course, our goal moving forward is to stay in contract whenever we possibly can. And they can expect, of course, their raises and their longevity will take effect immediately upon July 1, so that will be recognized in their first payroll after the new year. And I expect the bonus to be paid during the month of July.
After the new
Fiscal year.
Thank you.
Fiscal year.
Any other comments?
I just like to
Yes,
say,
Ms.
I'd like to say I appreciate the fact that the union worked with us. If there's anything they would like to say to the board, we're available to hear it. But I just want to say that when we recognize that we're in this together and that we're not against each other, we can move forward and benefit our employees in a nice way. And this is what's happening here. I really appreciate that you guys recognize the fact that in order for this district to sustain itself, that things have got to change in regards to certain things, that our costs, the legacy costs and the other costs, our healthcare and things like that are continuing to go up. And our priority is to make sure that we educate children as well as to make sure that our employees have decent wages so that they can live. And I just want to thank you guys for working with us to do that. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment also as someone that sat in your chair for many years negotiating contracts with the city of Buffalo. I know it can sometimes be difficult. I also appreciate the fact that, a contract's kind of this living document that has evolved or that evolves and changes over time, because things like healthcare or working conditions are always changing as well. And that's why it's always best practice to try and keep them as current as possible, because the longer you wait, the more things change, the more things you're trying to get your arms around just makes it much more difficult. So by staying current, it makes it's better for the membership, it's better for us as the district. And if I gave my members 3.75% over 4 years, they would have been very happy. So thank you very much. I'm proud to stand here in support of this. Yes, Mr. Hurd.
Just one last time to say I'd like to thank the work of Interim Superintendent Dr. Tanya Williams for taking this initiative to move this process forward and working with that to get making this contract signed, and also our legal counsel, Nate Kuzino, who has worked tireless hours, trying to work through contracts and make sure that they get due justice, for our employees and the district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think what Ms. Collins said is very important. This is not when you sit at the bargaining table, it's often assumed that this is an us, you versus us sort of mentality. And you know, we don't approach the table that way. We're all in this for the same issue. And that's how we always approach the table with any one of our bargaining units. And trying to do the right thing, while we all understand we have to live within our means in terms of budgetary things. And once again, I do commend these folks because that's how they approach the table. And it was how negotiations are supposed to work. So I think
Yeah. So if none of my other board members have anything to say, gentlemen, I'll give you the chance. Is there anything you'd like to say before we conduct a vote?
I would just like to say thank you for your consideration. We realized the district had needs, and we tried to meet those as well as meet the needs of our employees. And I think we formed a great working relationship with Nate Kuzma, and I'm happy that this has come to this conclusion at this particular point in time. And I thank you all for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, President Armstrong.
is that a motion to approve?
Motion to, thank you, Mr. Coon. Now that comments are closed, can I have a motion to approve? Do I have a second? Anybody else wish to second? There we go. I say I doubt there, Mr. Hurd. Can we have a roll call vote, Mr. Kuzma?
On the motion to approve the tentative agreement between the district board and the PECTA, how do you vote, Ms. Bellicott?
Absolutely, yes.
Dr. Evans-Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Ms. J?
Yes.
Ms. McCosey?
Yes.
Ms. Woods?
Yes.
And President Petrucci?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Before we conclude, I need a motion to excuse board members Scott and Rivera, who are unable to attend tonight. Do I have a motion by Ms. Gottman, second by Dr. Kathy Evans-Brown? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. They are excused for tonight's meeting. It's a good one. It's a shame. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Right here.
Second by Dr. Kathy Evans-Brown. All those in favor? Thank you very much, fellow board members.
Bye.